Hey, what's going on everybody, and welcome to today's ACSA content within the Maximum Football 2020 video game. And we got a great set of football games for you guys today. We have five total games that are going to be airing in one single episode. So if you love the ACSA, you're going to love today's episode. And either way, if you are excited about today's episode, period, smash that like button. If you do happen to be brand new to the channel, do me a favor, please hit that subscribe button for me as well. We are on the path to 1K subscribers, you know, as we are getting set, ready to go to start this first game of the ACSA, at least for this 5-game header that we have going on, as we're watching UW Kennesaw, who's sitting at about 500 right now, playing up against the Brooklyn Wolves, who have really struggled so far this season. But for now, things still remain tied at 0 apiece, as the Comets are slowly but steadily moving across the field, you know, for this game. As now, 3rd and 5. Levine gonna go to the right-hand side, gets it to Buchanan, and gets down the sideline. Only one man to beat, but that man does get the perfect pursuit angle. But still a huge first down for the Comets that gets them into field goal range. As 2 plays later on a 2nd and 11, trying to throw it to the left-hand side, incomplete, but they call pass interference. So an automatic first down for the Comets, and they take over on the next drop play, taking advantage of it. Buchanan's in the end zone, and just like that, the Comets take the lead, up 7-0. We're gonna be interested to see how the Brooklyn Wolves respond. They did play Southern Alabama tough despite the talent disparity that they saw between those two squads. So let's see if they can do it again and maybe pull off a win in this series, as Thompson's going to drop back the pass, tries to throw it over the middle, that is incomplete. But they'll try again though, another 2nd and 10. Thompson dropping back, has some time in the pocket, but just can't connect with his receiver. Both times he was open, but just can't quite hit the mark. Need to really step up in the passing game, and that's not how you get the job done. An interception by Bynum of UW Kennesaw. The Comets taking over, but they do go free and out, and so because they did go free and out, you know, it still remains a 7-0 game, and Brooklyn does dodge a bullet there. As we go to a 3rd and 4, Arias trying to pick up the first down. They just give it to him. Not sure if he actually got it or not, but I am not a referee. I'm just your color commentator for today's episode. As for now, the Brooklyn Wolves drive will still continue. But now, 2nd and 5. Thompson dropping back the pass, has a clean pocket, gets it to Sidney, his tailback, who's down the sideline, gets some good yards on that one, and gets him across the 30-yard line for a huge play for Brooklyn. The Wolves looking to get on the board for the very first time today. Let's see if they can do it, as they nearly throw an interception 2 plays later. But it falls harmlessly to the ground. It's now 3rd and long. Thompson's going to try to pick up the first down. Has a lot of time. Going to try to throw across the body to Mitchell, who picks up the first down. Could he get into the end zone? No, he didn't do that. So a 3rd and goal situation now, as there's a looks like a illegal procedure on Brooklyn. Gonna bring him back to the 7-yard line, as Thompson's gonna have to throw it for the end zone to see if he can find somebody, and look who he finds. He finds Aches, and just like that, this game is tied. And let me just say, it has been a pretty low scoring affair here to start this episode. You would think UW Kennesaw would have taken over by now, but that simply has not happened. Not quite yet. So still a 7-all game, but that's going to change quickly though. Buchanan gets his 2nd touchdown of the day, and the Comets once again have the lead. And it remains, and now the lead is back in the hands of the Comets. And after a Brooklyn free and out, the Comets have the football once again, going down the right sideline, trying to connect to Buchanan again. It's incomplete. It's now 2 plays later, 3rd and 1. Bellini gets lit up like a Christmas tree. Looks like he got clotheslined on that play. They don't call a flag, but not that it really matters. They do end up picking up the first down though. Good job by that tailback to be able to hold on to the football despite the hard hit. As now we cut to another 1st and 10. Levine trying to get it to his tailback. He can't fall on it though, and look who it is. Nichols of the Brooklyn Wolves recover. But they go free and out on their next drive, and so Brooklyn can't take advantage of the turnover. And it still is a 1-score game in favor of the Comets. They're driving as well, already across the 50-yard line. Get it to Bellini, who breaks a couple of tackles, picks up 5 more yards, get him across the 40-yard line. It's now 2nd and 5. Levine dropping back, gonna go over to the right-hand side, finds his favorite target in Buchanan. Has some big plays made throughout the day, getting him in the red zone once again. Brooklyn needs to make a big play on defense. That will help them out. An incompletion on the right-hand side, leading to a 3rd and 9. So now, Levine dropping back. He's got a clean pocket. Going to the left-hand side. He's nearly intercepted. Throwing it into double coverage. Luckily, it was not picked off. And the Comets do end up getting 3 points on this drive. But they still do what they need to do, making it a 2-score game. The Comets now up 17-7. So now a few plays later now, another 1st and 10 for the Comets, trying to throw to the right-hand side, a contested area that is marked incomplete. As they'll try again, another 2nd and 10. Levine this time throwing towards the sideline, gets to Buchanan, who somehow gets away from the first defender. A linebacker that was in charge of covering him, though that did not work out very well for the Brooklyn Wolves. And so now in Brooklyn territory once again. We'll see what the result of this drive is. 2nd and 10. Levine going over the middle. The receiver just stops. Could have definitely caught that football, but it is incomplete. And a 3rd and 10 that Levine needs to pick up. Can he pick it up? Yes, he does. Across the 25-yard line. 1st down. The Comets' drive still continues. As now, 2nd and 10. Another throw over the middle, but this time it is complete. Ellis nearly gets carried over the 1st down marker, but they're going to mark him just shy. Would not be shocked if they ran it here, and they will. Bellini, who gets across the 15-yard line for another 1st down, which leads to basically a goal line situation with how tight things are getting over here, as Bellini spins away from the first defender, breaks another one, but forgets to hang on to the football. But luckily, the Comets hang on and still have possession. As 2 plays later, they will still find the end zone. Another touchdown for the Comets. And so UW Kennesaw opening up this ball game now with a 24-7 lead. As Brooklyn looking for some points, and that's going to help their cause. Mitchell all alone is going to just dance into the end zone. Touchdown, Brooklyn. That's certainly going to help out the cause right there. But they're going to go for 2, though. Try to make it a 9-point game. But that doesn't work out for them, though. The conversion is no good. But that touchdown drive does help them out trying to get back into this game. Still needs some stops by this Brooklyn defense, as they're going to have to kick off back to the Comets. For some reason, offsides aren't a thing here in the ACSA, at least the onside kick, I should say. And that's going to really hurt them, because look at this. Breaking multiple tackles. He's now down the left sideline, and now there's no one left to beat. And right away, UW Kennesaw responds with a kick return touchdown. And this leads now really opening up 31-13 in favor of the Comets. And it's going to get worse. A turnover on the next possession for Brooklyn. They only come away with a field goal, but a very convincing victory for the Comets, winning by a final score of 34-13. Comets get their 2nd win of the season, whereas Brooklyn falls to 0-6. So now with that being said, let's go and shift into the great state of Ohio. Dayton, Ohio, matter of fact, as the St. John Jakeys are playing host to the Philadelphia Tech Black Mambas. We'll see if they can find the Mamba mentality in this game. They did have an upset over a Power 5 school earlier this year, Philadelphia Tech has. But St. John Jake's looks like a solid team, a team that could potentially be a dark horse in the National Athletic Conference when it's all said and done. So we'll see if they can actually get it done, see if they can take care of business and get themselves to at the 500 mark this season. As Butler, speaking of which, going to try to throw over the middle and gets it over to Cash. Cash Money being able to get across the first down marker with ease. As now a few plays later, 3rd and 6, but as Philadelphia Tech guy, looks like Aaron Boose gets offsides. So that's going to make things a lot easier for the Jakies, as Butler's just going to go ahead and do a quarterback sneak. Only need 1 yard, so why not? As now here we go, 2nd and 6, trying to keep the drive going, but the pass is thrown just short. He was open, but just could not connect on it. So now a 3rd and 6, going to try to throw over the middle once again. And the drive will end up stalling. St. John Jakes has to go for a field goal. And so for now, it's a pretty defensive affair once again. Sitting at 3-0 thus far. As now, once again, 1st and 10. But we're going over the middle. Tries to get it to his receiver on the deep post. But it's nearly intercepted, but was batted away. Harmlessly to the ground, as the drive will still continue, as we just witnessed another incompletion on that play. And now, 3rd and 10. But we're dropping back, facing pressure. Gets it over to Cash, but he is not Cash Money for that first down marker. And so St. John Jakes, again, has to settle for another field goal. They are doing a really good job between the 20s. But when they get inside that 20-yard line, that's when they really start running into some issues. And we've seen that to a degree with St. John Jakes, getting opportunities to score, but not really taking full advantage of it. It's not like they're turning the ball over or anything like that. But they're not doing anything to really, get into the end zone, though, as there's another field goal that they have to settle for. And so 3 trips at or near the red zone, all of them turning into field goals. As we'll take a look at the Philadelphia Tech offense now. 3rd and long coming up. Williams going to try to throw it over the middle, but gets it over to a purple jersey. Threw it to the wrong guy. And so that's intercepted. And so St. John Jakes, the offense that has struggled a little bit here today, gets a chance to play with the football inside Philadelphia Tech territory to start this drive. As 2nd and 3, but we're going to go ahead and keep it himself and pick up the first down with ease. The Jakies on the march once again, but can they find the end zone this time? 2 plays later, 2nd and 8, Cash going over to the left-hand side, makes the catch and gets upfield. Makes it a very manageable 3rd down conversion coming up. They'll probably run it here. No, they're actually going to pass it. About Ehrenrich leaks out of the backfield and gets some good yards. Basically a 1st and goal coming up. Nice play by the St. John Jakes offense. It's down once again, but we're going on the 1st down play. That's incomplete. Can they finally get into the end zone? 3rd and 12. No, they can't. It's another quarterback sack. And so for the 4th time, yes, the 4th time, they had to settle for a field goal. And so this game could easily be 28-0. They could be breaking, the chops off of Philadelphia Tech right now, as there's another interception. Defense is playing phenomenal so far. But instead, it's, 4 field goals out of 4 trips basically to the red zone, and they haven't been able to do anything. But maybe the 5th time is the charm, though. They are back in the 25-yard line. We'll see if they can do it this time. 1st and 10. Butler with a clean pocket going towards the end zone, but overthrows his man. And that's incomplete. So they'll try again a few plays later. A 3rd and 8. Going to Erich, who does pick up the first down with ease. Goal line situation. Is this the time they get into the end zone? Van looking for space. He climbs over a couple of defenders and finds the end zone. Touchdown, Jakies. And after 5 tries, St. John Jakes finally finds the end zone. And the lead continues to open up. Now a 19-0 lead. And so here we go. A 2nd and 10 coming up. But there's an illegal procedure on the Black Mambas. That's going to bring them back 5 yards. As they now deal with a 2nd and 15 now, thanks to the penalty Williams going to go ahead and try to scramble, actually get some good space. He might pick up the first down, and he does manage to pick up the first down. So the penalty doesn't really hurt him that much. And so they're looking to get, one of their best drives going. Can Philadelphia Tech get back on the board? 19-0, but there's still plenty of football left to play, as Lapham is able to get across the 40-yard line for another first down. Nice run by the Black Mambas. As now, 1st and 10. Williams dropping back, going to go to the left-hand side to McClary, who gets across the 45-yard line the first time, matter of fact, that we've seen Philadelphia Tech in St. John Jake's territory. We'll see what they do with their first play across the 50-yard line. Williams going to go ahead and slide down for the first. Another good run by this QB. Doesn't have the best arm talent, but man, can he run pretty well within the National Athletic Conference. As there's another first down. Getting something done with the arm as well. Got to keep him off balance. Is now 1st and 10. Williams going to try to throw it short, but looks like his arm might have been hit as he's thrown. Might explain why that pass was thrown so short. And so that was marked as an incompletion, but Philadelphia Tech, though, still has the football. Maybe they'll find the end zone. We'll see if they can get it done. Williams on a 3rd and 2. Makes a man miss. It gets lit up like a Christmas tree, though, by the next defender. But does get him at least in a goal line situation, as Williams looks to put the first points on the board for McClary. The McClary to Williams connection finally gets them on the board, and they're going to also go for 2 on top of that. A very interesting decision that nearly works for them as well, as they try to convert on that attempt, but it's no good as that pass was dropped. And so St. John Jake's still holding on to a 2-possession lead, but they want more as they try to go deep. He had a touchdown right there, but because it was overthrown, they had to try again, although they do pick up some really good yards on the next play. But man, that is tough to watch. 6 points slip through the fingers, though. Is now going over the middle to Bagley, who breaks a tackle, but the rest of the Philadelphia Tech team does manage to catch up to him eventually, though. Still a first down for the the Jakies. But we're going to try to go over the middle once again, facing pressure, but still nearly does enough to make the completion happen. But now, 2nd and 10, going over to Brown. He makes a quick catch and is immediately brought down. A manageable 3rd and 4 coming up. St. John Jake's has struggled with 3rd down conversions, and they will continue to do so, as they are just shy of the marker. They get the field goal, but at least for now, the offensive fertility in the red zone is not going to kill them today. St. John Jake's will be able to run out the clock, as this is how the game ends. St. John Jake's does actually get to 500 with a 22-6 victory over the Philadelphia Tech Black Mambas. So now it's time to go ahead and shift over to the West Coast for a little bit, watching the Phoenix State Flames, who were ranked in the top 25 last week, but after a tough loss fell in the top 25. It's going to play against a team who, is still looking for their very first win. The Modesto State Buccaneers, from the unaffiliated teams, the teams that don't have a conference, to call home. Modesto State is one of those squads, but that's going to really help their cause and help get that first win underway. As surprisingly, the two teams have been trading blows, nobody really taking control of the game just yet. But that fumble could help them do just that, however, as Butler going to scramble out. He's somewhat mobile, actually more mobile than I expected. As they are facing 3rd down, though, we'll see how Modesto State takes the lead, as long as they don't turn the football over, although that's a dangerous throw. Still somehow gets through, though, for the first down. As the next play, Butler in the pocket, gonna throw over in the middle to Owens, who gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. And I have to say, I am a fan of the Buccaneers unis. They may not be the most talented team, but I like how their uniforms turn out. They're very clean, if I say so myself. And Modesto State, on top of that, also has the lead. Playing against Phoenix State, if you saw the rankings, a little bit earlier, You know, Phoenix State across the board is a much more talented team than Modesto State is. You know, but again, that's why you play the team. Wow, what a catch! Wardham just caught it off the deflection. You love to see that kind of effort. But yeah, man, that is why the games are played, as Modesto State is giving them a run for their money early on in this game. As Jones going to throw over the middle to Workham, but it's well short of the marker, however. So Phoenix State only settles for a field goal. And with less than 2 minutes left in the first half, Modesto State still has this lead into what's been insanely defensive-minded. Certainly did not expect that when calling this game. I figured Phoenix State would just blow these guys out the door, you know, early and often. But we haven't really seen that yet as they try to go to the left-hand side to get it to one of their receivers. It's incomplete. As now 2nd and 10. Jones drops back the pass, has a clean pocket. He's got Drango, and he makes a man miss, and no one else is going to be able to catch him. He's in the end zone. Touchdown, Flames. And Phoenix State takes the lead. But it's a very contested ball game. Thought we were going to see a blowout, but you know, we actually got ourselves a pretty entertaining game. A game that could go either way, actually. So we'll see if Modesto State can pull off the upset, as they're only down 10-7 and they are already in Phoenix State territory. We'll see if this is the drive where they take the lead back. 3rd and 3. But we're going quickly to Brewer, who's thrown across the first down marker. The opposite way, of course, but they still give him that forward progress, though. It moves the chains for the Buccaneers as they continue to throw it across the body over the left-hand side. And now, 2nd and 10. Butler dropping back. He's got a clean pocket. Can make himself a sandwich, but the pressure gets to him. He's able to evade a couple defenders, though, and gets to the red zone. On top of that, what a play by Butler. Thought he was going to be sacked for sure, but that definitely did not happen. It's now 2nd and 10. 2 plays later. Butler scrambling again, making another defender miss. This guy is really elusive, or the Phoenix State defense just having a really hard time tackling, as they do manage to stop the drive. Modesto State settles for a field goal, but look at this, 4th quarter. This game is still tied at 10. Is this the moment where we see Modesto State get their very first win in this inaugural season? That's going to help the cause. Barry of Modesto State recovers the football. And now Modesto State has it at the 50-yard line. And we might be just one possession away from Modesto State taking the lead. This is going to be a very huge possession for both teams, as Phoenix State actually goes offside, giving Modesto State the first down. It's now 1st and 10. Butler's looking and going to the left-hand side, but that's incomplete, however. And so a 2nd and long is now coming up. Now 2nd and 10. Butler going to the right-hand side. Gets it to Brammer, who gets lit up like a Christmas tree, but gets across the 10-yard line, though. And now we see 1st and goal. Butler looking, going to try to heave it towards the end zone, and Span comes down with it. Touchdown, Modesto State. And with 7 minutes left, the Buccaneers have the lead. And now Phoenix State needs to get a drive together to tie this game back up once again. We'll see if they can get the job done. And now, once again, 1st and 10. Jones dropping back on a throw over the middle to Hartwick, who does get across the 50-yard line. And on top of that, a pass interference is called, which adds a few more yards on top of that. And so Phoenix State drawing ever closer. Can Modesto State get one more big stop? Their defense been playing lights out all day long, as Jones gets them across the 30-yard line for another first down. Again, 2nd and 10 coming up. Let's see if they can get it done. Jones is fumbled. Phoenix State can't get to it, and look who it is. The defense makes the stand, and the immaculate upset happens. Modesto State gets their very first win of the series, whereas Phoenix State takes their 2nd loss in a row. Keeping with that West Coast theme, we now go over to the Rocky Mountain Conference, We're going to watch the Marbleton Cardinals play up against Syracuse State. Syracuse State haven't won a single game this season, and Trey Massey is one of the reasons for it. Despite being one of the best offensive players that Syracuse State has, he leads, or was as close to the lead in the ACSA in interceptions. Meanwhile, the Marbleton Cardinals, they got a nice win against the Anchorage Tech Laywers from the Big Pacific Conference. But after that, they went on a 4-game losing streak. So definitely not a great time to be alive for either squad, as now both teams look to get back on track with 4 or 5-game losing streaks. But right now, Murphy and company are putting together a pretty good drive, getting across the 50-yard line in the Syracuse State territory. Do they finish though, as White pulls the pump fake and is able to fake out the defense long enough to pick up the first down. And so, here we go. 3rd and long though. Drive could stall out. White's looking around. He's got a clean pocket. Does decide to run through though, and almost gets to the first down marker actually. But even though he doesn't pick up the first down, he does put the kicker in effective field goal range. Able to pick up a few points for the Marbleton Cardinals, as it already matches the total points scored that against Anchorage Tech. Marbleton winning week 1 by a final score of 3-0. But they're going to need more than 3 points, as we have seen more offensive games in the ACSA since that very first week of the season. So we'll see if the Marbleton Cardinals can get it done, or will Syracuse State get their very first win of the season finally, as Massey throws to the left-hand side, gets it to Smoot, who gets him across the 45-yard line for a nice first down. So Syracuse State got themselves a little bit of a drive as well. It's now 1st and 10. Massey dropping back. He's going to scramble. No, he's going to throw this one deep. He had a man, but he throws him short. If that pass was on target, that was 6 points. But those points will be taken off the board though, as it was incomplete because of the ball not being thrown far enough. Underthrown, as we say. But do we get a first down? We'll see if they can get it done again. As Massey drops back, facing pressure. He's got a man in Smoot, and this time he doesn't miss. Touchdown, Lakers. And Syracuse State takes the lead. We'll see if the Marbleton offense can get the job done though, as Fedward gets across for the first down. Nice little gain right there. Now 2 plays later, 2nd and 9, going up the middle with Smith. Some tough running room at first, but is able to sliver his way through the Syracuse State defensive line and able to pick up some yards. An 8-yard gain that sets it 3rd and 1. As that time they tried to run it again and they were more prepared. But Smith, only needing 1 yard, does exactly what is asked of him. As Smith, they continue to go to him, trying to soften up this Lakers defense a little bit. Might be a play action on the way. As speaking of which, there's a pass over the middle. Tries to get it over to one of his favorite targets. It's incomplete. And now 3rd and 3, going to the left-hand side, going to Miller. That time it is completed and is able to pick up good yards in the process. Brought out of bounds before getting across the 30-yard line. And so, new quarter ensuing. Marbleton trying to take momentum to begin this second quarter of play. As now 3rd and 8. Got a lot of yards to pick up. Can White and company do it? Gonna try to scramble, and he gets to the first down. 1 and 6. He's a few yards shy of that, but they aren't too far from the goal line. As White will try to throw it in on 1st and goal. He has a man, but he can't connect. Again, 6 points going to be taken off the board temporarily. We'll see if White can get it done again, but this time he doesn't miss. Touchdown for the Marbleton Cardinals, and they retake the lead. Now up 10-7. As Marbleton looks to get their dominance going, trying to get momentum going ever since that first week. They have not played well whatsoever, and now just not leaving it for chance. Trying to take a huge lead early and often. That's almost another touchdown on the board for the Cardinals, but is marked incomplete. It's now 3rd and 5. White going to try to go over in the middle. That's nearly intercepted, but falls harmlessly to the ground. And for now, once again, having to settle for a field goal Marbleton's only up 13-7 as Smoot is going to get them in field goal range right from the jump. Massey not wasting any time. And now a 1st and 10 off the big play. Going to try to throw it once again. So many Marbleton defenders in the area. Not sure how that wasn't caught for an interception. But very lucky for Luke Massey as he tries to go over the middle again. But that's deflected away. And now 3rd and 10. Massey dropping back for a 3rd time. 3rd time's a charm. Gets it to Smoot, who gets him across the 15-yard line for a 1st down on that play. Now they're within a handful of yards of taking the lead right back. We'll see if they can get it done. As Brown makes a man miss, he's going to dive for the end zone, and he's in there. Not sure if the dive is actually needed on that play, but still looks really cool. And Syracuse State ties the game up right away, but look at this. They're going to go ahead and go for 2 points here. You don't need to. It's really not necessary. But Massey's going to go ahead and throw it to Bean. A nice leaping grab in the corner of the end zone. Good for 2 points. So even though the 2-point conversion was ultimately not necessary, you know, they would have just kicked the extra point. They would have still led. Syracuse State was able to get the 2-point conversion though. And so while it was a very risque decision, Syracuse State makes it work out for them. And so here we go, midway through the 3rd quarter. Syracuse State with a 15-13 lead. We'll see how the Cardinals can respond though. We've got a 3rd and 7 coming up. White gonna just toss it to right hand side to Smith, who somehow plows forward, but might pay a price as he is a little bit shaken up. Gonna miss at least the next few plays. Just gonna need to see some stem and ice, and I'm sure he will be just fine. It's now 2nd and 4. Backup tailback is in the game for the Cardinals. I'm not gonna use him yet for the run game as they're gonna go to White as finds his tight end in Miller, who gets away from multiple Syracuse State defenders. Not sure how he managed to find the end zone, but he sure did it right there, and Marbleton has the lead. And after a 3-and-out by the Syracuse State Lakers, Marbleton looks to make this a 2-score game for the first time today. We'll see if they can get it done as they throw to the right-hand side to Fedler, who is brought down immediately after the catch. Good for a 1st down still. Now 2 plays later, White dropping back the pass. He's looking around, good trying to scramble upfield. He actually gets the 1st down and a lot more. A huge gain for Mark White. Now here we go, another 1st and 10 for the Cardinals. Going to continue to drive. White's looking, gonna go to the right hand side. That's incomplete. Receiver was there, just cannot haul it in. Was scared of getting hit. You know, gotta take some hits for your quarterback sometime. As White did right there, he took a shot but bounces right back. He's a tough kid that watches hockey highlights. As the next play, Smith tries to dive for the end zone but is ultimately denied. Still is awarded the 1st down though. We'll see if they go to his tailback once again. They go to White as he throws over the middle. It's incomplete. Not sure what they were thinking there. Just 1 yard away. Just run it in. As White will do just that. Heeding that advice. Diving for the end zone. Touchdown. Marbleton. For the very first time today, the Cardinals with a lead. And that lead looks to continue to grow as there's another 3-and-out by the Syracuse State Lakers. The offense really struggling at the very worst time right now. And Marbleton now has an opportunity to put this football game away. And now 1st and 10. Smith going to take it on the carry. Makes a man miss. Does a little stutter step before finally being brought down for a 6-yard gain. As the drive still continues for these Cardinals. Trying to get it to the right-hand side. That is incomplete, however. And so a 3rd down waiting for Marbleton. Big play as Joe makes the interception. That's going to help the cause for the Lakers as they desperately needed that to try to stay in this ball game. But alas, they can't do anything with it. It's still 27-15. A 2-score game, and it's looking even more likely that the Cardinals are going to come away and win this football game. It's now 1st and 10. Going to throw quickly to the right-hand side. He has a man, but is off target, however. So going to have to try again. 2nd and 10 now. White gonna have to scramble, gets away from a couple of guys, makes another man miss, and finally slides down across the 30-yard line. Not sure how he managed to avoid the sack, but did just that though. No rhyming intended over here. As White once again goes to quarterback keeper for 8 yards there, leading to a 2nd and 2. And then White just going to go ahead and just keep doing what he's doing. Another short completion, this time to Fedor. That gets him mainly to a goal line situation. 2nd and 12. Smith going to try to get to the end zone. He's so close, but he's going to be just a couple yards shy. If he broke that one last tackle, he was in. He had blockers. But Smith will try to run it in, and he's not going to get in. So 4th and 1 coming up, decision time. And the Cardinals are going to elect to go for it. The backup tailback is in the game, and Anderson dives for the end zone. Touchdown, Cardinals. Another score for Marbleton. That is likely going to wrap things up here, as Marbleton takes a 34-15 win, gained their very first win since week 1, whereas Syracuse State still search for that first win this season. And now we go to the last game of this episode that we got here today. We have the Lincoln Fighting Salt, who have looked pretty good, going on the road to play against the number 5 team in the nation, into the Cab A&M Barbs. We know what the Bluffton Tech Fighting Muskrats are made of. We know what Southfield is made of. Let's see what the Cab A&M can do now that we are here in conference play. One of 3 teams that are vying for that Big North Championship, at least in that top tier. As the first pass, they try to go deep, which is marked incomplete. And now, 3rd and 9, 2 plays later. Finu gonna go ahead and get this first down with ease. Great blocking by the Barbarians. And there's a fresh set of down for the Cab A&M to work with. We'll see what they do with it as 1st and 10. Walker with a very clean pocket, but very good coverage upfield. Just goes ahead and slides down for a 7-yard gain. Now 2nd and 3, trying to get it to Finu. Nearly gets caught up in the backfield, but somehow avoids the tackle. One thing I do want to mention, I know the Lincoln helmets still aren't necessarily accurate. I forgot to change them once again. I'll definitely need to make sure to get that taken care of before the Lincoln Fighting Salt make another appearance in the ACSA. As now, 3rd and 6, going to Finu, who somehow gets out of that first tackle. And even though they had a great position to get it done, they don't get him off the field. So their drive will still continue. A 1st and 10. Going to Tobert, who gets across the 10-yard line. 1st and goal coming up. And the Cab A&M so far playing the part. As Walker looks to get into the end zone for the first time today and finds Williams in the middle of the end zone. Touchdown, Barbarians. And as expected, the Cab A&M takes the early lead. So now after a 3 and out by Lincoln, Finu is going to go ahead and get this drive started. A 1st down for the Barbs. Now 1st and 10, getting close to the end of the 1st quarter already. Finu once again somehow getting through the defense. That was actually a pretty good run defense in terms of gap integrity. But still, Finu finds a way to get through. As there's another 3rd and long. Lincoln just struggling to get these guys off the field right now. You hate to see it. And now 1st and 10. Walker dropping back. He's going to throw it to the left-hand side. He's got a man. He's got Adams. Only one man to beat. That man does bring him down eventually, though, for the 1st down. So 1st and goal coming up for the Barbs. Walker going to the right-hand side and gets it to Tobert for the touchdown. The Cab A&M with another score. But after that, the bleeding slows down, though, as only a few more points were scored by the Cab A&M after that. The Fighting Salt, of course, really struggling on offense today, still with a 0 burger in this game. And so we got this 2nd half underway for the Barbarians, hosting a nice 20-0 lead right now. It's now 2nd and 10, 2 plays later. Walker going to drop back to pass. He's got time. He nearly throws the interception, though. Tries to throw it to the man in the middle of the field, but Lincoln linebacker saw the play. Just couldn't quite get his hands on it. That's why he plays linebacker and not wide receiver or tight end. as they do make them pay for it on the next play, throwing the baits over the middle for a huge first down. Now in the red zone again, can the Fighting Salt get a stop? Walker looking, gonna go ahead and scramble himself and pick up a few yards. Way to keep things positive, not seeing anybody upfield that he really liked. Down, next play, Walker this time doing a quarterback sneak and gets hit down low, but does able to get right back up. So first and goal ensuing for the Barbarians, as Walker will drop back, throw to the left hand side. He's got a beautiful ball to Bates in the corner of the end zone. Touchdown to Cab A&M. And the Barbarians find the end zone once again. Lincoln does put a field goal up, so at least they can say they aren't going to get upset here or shut out, I should say, here today. But not a very good performance for the Lincoln Fighting Salt. Here in this second week of conference play, finding out real quick that, maybe these guys are pretenders, not ready to play up against these better teams in the Big North, at least in that top tier. As a 3rd and 4, Allen's going to somehow end up picking up the first down. Not sure if he actually got it or not, but the officiating crew here today is going to give them that first down spot. So the drive still continues for the Barbs, and they're going to make them pay for it right away. Tolbert with a huge catch upfield, getting across the 35-yard line for Lincoln. And this game is getting very ugly very quickly, as Tolbert picks up another 9-yard catch. A nice gain for this DeKalb passing game. Tolbert already with 6 catches for 96 yards. We'll see if they go to him again for catch number 7. They don't go to him, but Tunstall was open this time around, and he nearly gets a touchdown himself. But now, goal line situation. 2nd and goal going over the middle to Williams. He nearly gets in that end zone. Just 1 yard short. The 1-yard line monster getting to him that time. They'll try to finish with Finu, but he is just marked shy, however. We'll see if they'll go for it, and they actually are going to go for it. Everybody in the box. They trying to get the run, but they don't stop it. And this game is getting absolutely out of control. DeKalb A&M proving why they're the number 5 team, winning 48-3 in this one. Now that we made it through that surprising blowout that DeKalb A&M just had, let's go ahead and check around the ACSA for other non-primetime scores throughout the course of Week 6 so far. We have the Brandon Bears continuing to look really good, as they really struggled in non-conference play, then picked things up once getting to the Midwest Conference. The Brandon Bears now sitting at 3-3, hitting at 500 for the first time this season, beating the Minnesota State Twin City Beavers by a final score of 43-0. Also looking pretty good as the Seattle Cascades make their first appearance in the top 25 polls. They came in today's game ranked number 20 in the nation, playing against a solid Burroughs State Huskies team, going on the road to go in the great state of Alaska. And they're going to leave the great state of Alaska unscathed as they improve to 6-0 on the season. Now sitting at pretty actually 23-7 victory. Oaksterdam also had an extremely close call, as they might be the Cardiac Cats, as they call the Cincinnati Bearcats from in actual football past couple of years. Oaksterdam wins another close victory, improving to 6-0 as well, but they only win by a final score of 15-12. Certainly a very tight matchup for sure. Shifting things over to the National Conference, though, Wilkes-Barre Scranton is able to finally get their 2nd win of the season, taking down the Sycamore Aviators by a final score of 41-9, as it does get them back into National Athletic Conference race. Only 2 games back now, both of these teams are, from potentially going to the National Conference title game. The Indians from Hayes College, however, came into this game undefeated, but surprisingly got a pretty good matchup from the San Jose Dolphins. They didn't win this game, but despite being 0-6, they showed a lot of fight out there. They only won by a final score of 14-6, and they were the home team as well. Texas Catholic, on the other hand, continues to take care of business, as they look like a team that can potentially compete for the national championship at the end of the season. Texas Catholic hosted the Nazareth Maccabees, who did upset Sugarland State earlier this season, but this time couldn't get the job done. Texas Catholic wins this game by a final score of 36-7. Southern New Mexico, on the other hand, got the pleasure of playing against New Mexico Tech, who's still looking for their first win this season, and they're still going to have to keep looking as well. They lose 30-3. It'll be interesting to see if New Mexico Tech actually wins a single game this season now that we are in conference play. Speaking of teams that are dominating, look at what David Crockett was able to do today. The Mavericks improved to 6-0 on the season, as they should continue to improve on that number 15 overall ACSA ranking, going on the road to play against the Maui Piranhas, winning 38-0. Feels good to be able to secure a shutout on the road. The Beluga Whales are also starting to get themselves together, as in the Rocky Mountain Conference. They are looking definitely in the thick of things, getting a very convincing win against Rocky Mountain opponent Hawaii A&M. They fall to 1-5 thanks to a shutout loss to the Beluga Whales, losing 40-0. Meanwhile, Hawaii A&M fall into 1-5. We do have a upset loss on our hands, as University of Mid-Atlantic makes their first appearance to the top 25, but that is not going to last very long. They lose to the Lebanon Aviators 21-7, as Lebanon, a former top 25 team themselves, are looking like they're starting to get themselves back on track, slowly but surely. Meanwhile, the Warwick Rebels, who were coming in today's Week 6 matchup against Florida Tech, came in number 2 in the nation. They got everything they can handle from Florida Tech. This was a team that was at one point ranked in the top 10 but have fallen on hard times. But Florida Tech gave it all that they can do, but fell short, losing 19-9. A respectable loss though for the Florida Tech Techies. Herbert Hoover, on the other hand, had no problem dealing with the cadets from Hanover, New Hampshire, as they went on the road and was able to get the job done, improving to 6-0. Would not be surprised if they jumped into the top 10 next week after a convincing 36-7 victory. On the other hand, the Southfield Dalmatians were not as convincing, only winning 16-6 against Morehead State. Morehead State was trying to play, the upset guy today, and it didn't quite work out for them. They're going to fall to 3-3, while the Southfield Dalmatians are still going to be sitting pretty at 6-0. On the other hand, the Iowa Institute of Technology is looking like a real dark horse in the Big North Conference, beating the Madison Lakers today by a final score of 20-6. That is going to improve their record to 6-0 on the season, whereas the Madison Lakers take their first loss since their unfortunate Week 2 upset against Central Tech. They now fall to 4-2. Central Georgia A&M continues to try to claw back into the top 25 rankings. After they take a bad loss in Week 1, they got themselves back on track and have now strung together 5 consecutive victories, culminating in, a 34-3 win on the road against the Erlanger Barons within Super South Conference play. Bayou State also had a pretty dominating victory, as 2 former top 25 teams that were in the 20-25 range but took losses. Hopefully Bayou State jumps back in with a convincing win against A.J. Moore Academy, winning by a final score of 39-6. On the other hand, University of Georgia in Cartersville was on the upset track on Week 1, and they return the favor now that they're in Super South Conference play, defeating the Ceballo University Dream by a final score of 26-20. Ceballo making their first appearance in the top 25, debuting at number 21. Imagine they'll fall out of the top 25 thanks to this performance. And the last game that I want to bring up is the Houston Tech Red Bears hosting the Nashville Generals from the Stars and Stripes Conference. Houston Tech finally gets their first win and does it with a bang, winning by a final score of 37-3. Houston Tech finally gets to the win column, whereas the Nashville Generals still looking for their first win this season. So that is going to wrap up today's ACSA action. As the next couple of days we'll have various primetime matchups throughout the channel. Hope you tune in at 6 p.m. Eastern for those respective games. And if you enjoyed today's historic 5-game episode, do me a favor and please smash the like button, as well as subscribe to the channel if you do have to be new, and like what you happen to see as well. This is John Jake Gavin on the mic, hoping that you guys all are having a wonderful day. Take care, everybody.